This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to POA News with Gamachisa Mandida, providing you with the newest updates from Africa. Stay tuned for the main stories and developments shaping our continent. First, South Africa. South Africa has joined Morocco, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Greece and other leading destinations in recording 9 consecutive months of tourism growth in 2025, a remarkable milestone that reflects the sector's strong global recovery. Driven by a 15.8% surge in international arrivals and a 5.3% rise in tourism receipts, South Africa's tourism industry is thriving once again. The country's breathtaking landscapes, world-renowned wildlife and rich cultural heritage are drawing millions of visitors eager to explore its diverse experiences from Cape Town's Table Mountain of Kruger National Park and the scenic Windlines. Tourism analysts attribute the growth to improved infrastructure, targeted international marketing and rising demand for both cultural and natural-based travel. Countries like Morocco and Egypt continue to attract global travelers with their historical landmarks, while South Africa's expanding adventure tourism, including safaris and eco-travel, is cementing its status as one of Africa's top destinations. With vibrant cities, deep-rooted traditions and unmatched natural beauty, South Africa's sustained tourism boom underscores its growing appeal on the world stage and signals a bright future for Africa's travel economy. South Africa has long been one of Africa's leading tourism destinations, known for its combination of natural wonders, wildlife and cultural heritage. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, is currently dispatching critical medical commodities and supplies following the 28 October 2025 attack on the Saudi maternity hospital in Al-Fashar, North Darfur, Sudan. The assault, which killed hundreds of patients and caregivers and led to the abduction of several health workers, has crippled one of the few remaining medical facilities in the region and raised grave concerns about the continuity of essential health services. Africa's CDC has recently deployed emergency medical and laboratory experts to assess the situation in Sudan and support outbreak control, sustain essential health services and reinforce biosafety in the affected area. The agency's epidemic intelligence team is working closely with Sudan's Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization to verify casualty figures, monitor potential disease outbreaks and assess the broader public health impact. This is not only a human tragedy but a public health emergency, said Dr. Jean Kasia, Director General of Africa's CDC. Africa's CDC is also urging all parties to the conflict to protect the integrity of laboratories and biomedical facilities that store or handle high-consequence pathogens.
El Dorado, a land of wealth, a future of limited possibilities. This is El Dorado. From natural rich to groundbreaking innovations, discover Africa's untapped potential. El Dorado, unveiling Africa's global potential.
German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier arrived in Accra for a 3-day state visit aimed at strengthening Ghana-Germany relations in trade, investment, technology and development cooperation. He was received at Kotoka International Airport by Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudezo Ablakwa and the German Ambassador Friedrich Landschaft. President Steinmeier will be officially welcomed at the presidency with a full military guard of honor before holding a closed-door meeting with President John Dramani Mahama. The two leaders are expected to discuss bilateral issues, focusing on deepening economic partnerships and expanding cooperation in key sectors. During his visit, President Steinmeier will also travel to Kumasi to inaugurate a project at the Kumasi Technical Institute, engage with faculty and students at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and visit the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research. Germany and Ghana share a long-standing partnership spanning trade, investment, education and development cooperation. State visits like President Steinmeier's play a critical role in strengthening diplomatic ties, fostering investment opportunities and promoting collaboration in science, education and innovation. In Kenya's Amboseli ecosystem, drones are transforming how farmers and elephants interact, helping reduce the crop destruction that has long fueled conflict between humans and wildlife. Conservation groups such as the Big Life Foundation have deployed drones equipped with thermal cameras and GPS tracking, allowing rangers to detect elephant herds in real time, both day and night, and alert local communities before damage occurs. The drone's lights and buzzing sounds guide elephants safely back to their conservancy, offering a safer and faster alternative to traditional methods like chasing them with vehicles or torches. Farmers in Kajiado County have been significant improvements, with farmlands now better protected without harming the animals. Rangers monitor elephant movements from parallel vehicles using infrared feeds, while drones operating up to 4 kilometers away allow for remote management. The system also links to GPS call-out elephants, enabling precise tracking across large areas and reducing dangerous encounters. By combining traditional conservation practices with modern technology, Kenya's drone program is promoting coexistence between farmers and elephants, providing a replicable model for wildlife protection and community safety across Africa. Namibia has launched a comprehensive plan to address escalating water shortages amid prolonged droughts and growing demand, aiming to secure a reliable supply for citizens, particularly in rural areas. The strategy includes short, medium and long-term measures such as expanding water pipelines, drilling and equipping boreholes, rehabilitating earth dams for rainwater harvesting, and installing small desalination plants. Additional initiatives focus on sealing canals, establishing community gardens, and preventing wildfires that could damage water infrastructure. Prime Minister Elijah Ngure emphasized the government's commitment to ensuring each region has sufficient water for domestic use, livestock, and agricultural projects to enhance food security. NAM Power and NAM Water will coordinate to maintain stable electricity and pumping capacity for effective water distribution. Namibia, one of sub-Saharan Africa's driest countries, relies heavily on groundwater and shared river systems. Rural communities in northern and northeastern regions, including Kunene, Omusati, Oshana and Kavango, have been hardest hit by dry spells and falling groundwater levels. With climate variability and limited storage capacity exacerbating the crisis, the government's plan represents a major push to invest in water infrastructure, improve resource management, and strengthen national resilience against future water shortages. Morocco's 14th International Date Fair wrapped up yesterday, drawing nearly 95,000 visitors and generating more than $3.8 million in sales. Over 5 days, the event hosted more than 220 exhibitors from 9 countries. The fair's theme, Sustainable Management of Water Resources, Foundation for Date Palms and Oasis Development, highlighted the urgent challenge of water scarcity in Morocco's arid regions. Organizers emphasized the role of oasis ecosystem as biodiversity reservoirs and national barriers against desertification. A scientific symposium brought together experts from Morocco's National Institute for Agricultural Research, NDZOA. A scientific symposium brought together experts from Morocco's National Institute for Agricultural Research, NDZOA, FAO, and ICARDA to explore climate adaptation strategies for oasis agriculture. An investment forum and B2B meetings facilitated partnerships and promoted responsible investment in date palm and oasis development. Agriculture Minister Ahmed Al-Bauri inaugurated the fair and visited the Makatas for Hydro Agricultural Project, a $9 million government initiative designed to channel flood waters from the Grazi rivers to Lake Merzouga. The project will irrigate 1,199 hectares, benefit 6,770 residents, and strengthen local ecosystems. Infrastructure improvements include a 260-meter diversion dam, 14-kilometer of water transfer canal, and 2.6-kilometer irrigation network alongside Lake Merzouga dike rehabilitation. The project aims to enhance groundwater recharge, preserve water vegetation, boost tourism, and curb rural exodus by making oasis communities more resilient to climate pressures. Moving to business, Angola is seeking $4.5 billion to build a strategic rail link from its Atlantic coast to Zambia's copper belt, a move expected to boost regional trade, mineral supply chains, and Africa's green industrial future. The project, part of the Lobito Corridor, will connect Zambia's copper mines directly to the deep-water port of Lobito, offering a faster, more efficient route that bypasses congested southern transit lines. Already, Italy has committed $320 million and the African Development Bank $500 million, while Angola's Transport Minister Ricardo Vegas de Abreu confirmed interest from Egypt and exploratory discussions with the European Union. Currently, Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which produce over 15% of the world's copper, rely on long, congested routes to ports in South Africa, Mozambique, and Tanzania, often taking 3 to 4 weeks to export minerals. The Lobito Corridor could cut transit times by more than half, lowering costs and strengthening Africa's role in supplying copper for electric vehicles, renewable energy, and battery technologies. The rail link also aligns with efforts to capture more value locally through refining and manufacturing, positioning Angola and Zambia at the center of Africa's green industrial transition. Finally, the 5th Africa Financial Summit, AFIS 2025, opens today in Casablanca, Morocco, bringing together over 1,250 financial leaders and policymakers to shape a roadmap for Africa's financial sovereignty. Scheduled for November 3 to 4, the summit will focus on mobilizing an institutional capital, strengthening African banks and funds, and financing key projects in energy, logistics, and natural resources. It will also spotlight digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and fintech innovation to support SMEs and private equity growth. Launched in 2018, the Africa Financial Summit has become a leading platform for dialogue on economic transformation and financial inclusion. The annual event brings together policymakers, investors, and financial institutions to accelerate Africa's integration into global markets and strengthen domestic financial systems. Previous editions have addressed regional financial integration, sustainable financing, and the role of African capital markets in supporting the African continental free trade area. This year's summit in Morocco's financial hub comes as African nations seek to build resilience amid global economic uncertainty and rising debt pressures. Next, let's check the current weather forecast. Before we conclude, let's remind you of POA in depth that follows the news. Thank you for tuning into POA's News of the Hour. Stay informed and connected with us for the latest updates. Until next time, goodbye.